Good morning. Well, it's good morning in my side of the world. And welcome to another Monday art journal class. Well, it's actually not a class, it's more a journey because I don't consider myself an expert in this at all. I'm still learning. You can see I'm just priming my page for this art journal, and I just use a card to spread the gesso really thinly, and it really works like a charm. So today I'm going to be playing with the tree of life. This layout is titled Tree of Life, and you can find it in the Grace bundle that I put together for the last 2 weeks, this week and next week's art journaling. And really, I think creating this bundle, the hope for me is that you would buy it from iHeartStudio and play with me these 4 weeks in making our journal pages. And this is really the best way to learn, is just to create, I guess. And I thought that at least I have some experience in art, and that to do it together would just make it a little less intimidating. So I'm just cutting out the tree. At this stage, I was still waiting for my first transfer to dry, so I wasn't sure if image transfer is going to work at all, the one that I showed you last week. So I decided to, because I took 2 days out of my schedule just to make these pages, and I decided to use Mod Podge and just add it to my page like that. And now that I know image transfer works like a charm, I won't say I'll never do this again, but I'll rather do an image transfer. I think that way you keep your page as flat as possible. Plus, it's just an interesting technique to use. So I don't know, we'll see. Another comment I just want to make is I am speeding my video up slightly. So if it looks like I'm working extra fast, it's the video that I sped up. I'm just getting rid of all the bubbles now by lightly using my finger and just to squeeze out all the bubbles. And then I'm just going to paint around the edges with gesso just to get rid of the paper line, I guess. And I mean, it looks good. You won't say that just by looking at it that it was just adhered with a paper, so that's fine. So you can see I'm working wet on wet, so the Mod Podge is not dry, and I'm just painting over it. That's fine. So, okay, let me tell you a little bit about the progression of these pages. It's one of those instances where I went too far, I did too much, and I'm learning from it, because honestly, that's not what I want to do. I want to keep my art journal pages actually as clean as possible, believe it or not. I mean, it's a mixed media platform, and it leans it more towards overworking pages, and I don't know, that's not what I want to do. Well, not at this stage. It might change in the near future, but this is one of those pages where I went too far, and you'll see what I mean. It's just, it looked so good at one stage, and then I overworked it, and then I had to bring it back. Thankfully, it did work out for me, and I'm very thankful for it, and I think it looks beautiful. I love the color scheme. It's a cooler color scheme versus the warmer colors that I usually use. But in the end, I'm very happy with how it turned out. So I'm just going to stamp, and that's another regret that I have, even though, you know what, I shouldn't say regrets, because I can make another page and bring and use what I didn't use this time. So I have this beautiful stamp that I used, and I covered it up completely. So I think in my next 4 weeks of pages, I will definitely use the stamps again, and this time I'll show them. I won't cover them up. So that little roller is not the best one for this job. You can see I'm just using chalkboard paint, and I just want to ink the stamp and stamp it. And you know what? This is something totally off topic, but the bracelets I'm wearing there is missing. I can't find them anywhere in my house. And I actually had to reorganize my whole room on Saturday looking for them, and I still can't find them. So I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, you can see it did a great print, and now I'm doing it again because I wanted to add it at the bottom as well. You can see I started out with watercolors, and I'm going over to acrylic paint, and this just looks super green on the video. It's not as green in real life. I think it's just the way it looks, almost like a neon color. And I think the main reason why I changed it was because I didn't like how it looked on video. I have a screen in my recording part of my studio where I can see and on a larger scale what's happening or how it looks through the video camera, and I just absolutely hated it. So it's just weird how something like that can affect what you do on your layout. But I guess because I do videos, it's important for me that it looks good on a video, right? I mean, otherwise you're going to think, oh my gosh, what's up with the neon paint, Wilna? So I don't like neon paint. I'm not a neon type of person, but I mean, if you like it, good for you. It's just not my personal preference. So I also, you can see I played with some ink. I wanted to work with that color blue. That was actually my main thing. I really wanted to add some blue on this layout, and because it's my favorite color, that cerulean blue, and or the teal blue, and I mean, it's pretty when you mix it in with that green, but it just looked a little too green for me. So I'm playing with acrylic paint, And I guess I'm so cautious here right now. It's still, the process is not as intuitive to me yet. So I'm still seeing what works, what's not going to work, and I didn't want to do too much. But in the end, I did. But I'll show you how I fixed it as well. Okay, so what happened here was I missed, or I didn't record a big part of making this journal. You can see that I painted over the greens and blues with just a little bit of parchment acrylic paint. It's that gray yellow, and I just muted it, So I'm very sorry I didn't record that part. For some reason, it just sometimes happens, especially when you work on so many pages all at once. And then I dropped some ink on it, just Studio Calico, one of the ink, and now I'm just going to spray a little of that green on the page. And I think that little bottle didn't always want it. The spray, you have to clean your sprays a little. And you can see there I'm covering up a lot of the print part. So in a way, this is where I start overworking it, and it's okay. I think it's a good exercise. I never think when I used to teach art for school kids, I used to say there's no right or wrong in art, and I think it's a very, very important principle here. I think my one rule was just not to start over. So I wasn't allowed to rip out the pages and throw them in the trash. I had to make them work in some way. And it's okay. I think it's a very good exercise in if you overwork a page sometimes, to bring it back to a work, to a page that looks good. So I think also the one plus of adding so many layers to a page is you really get a very fascinating end result. And I think of all the layouts that I made for this art journal month, this one is really fascinating to look at, if you open the art journal itself in real life, So now I'm bringing back some freshness, and it's basically just white acrylic paint mixed with a little bit of yellow. And you can see immediately it just freshens up the page. I just wanted to get rid of the grey look. So you can see I spray painted or sprayed some red paint on the edge of that page. And I don't do it on scrapbook layouts because it looks like blood. But on art it's fine. I really liked it. But the moment I did it, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, it's going to go downhill fast. And then what I did was I just painted it, I dabbed it. That's what I did. And I didn't film it. I'm like, what's up with me? Sorry. So sorry. I can kick myself when I get to the editing part and I realize there's segments I didn't film. So what I did there, you can actually see the paper towel markings. I used the paper towel and I just dabbed it. But at this stage, it's still wet. You can see how it's mixing with the cream, the paint. And I'm fine with that, So I just thought maybe I can paint it, and I must admit this is where panic sets in this on this page. I'm like, what am I doing? That's really what I thought. I'm just being completely honest with you. Remember, I'm still a novice with this art journaling thing. So anyway, so I thought, okay, let me paint some white paint. Let me define a couple of interesting elements, and then I'm going to maybe add a photo or picture or do a decoupage or something. That's what I was thinking. I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but I think I'm holding my brush actually very lightly, and I was thinking, okay, don't overdo it now. You have to know where to stop. I had an anthropology catalog, and if you don't subscribe to it, I think you should, because I think it's great art journaling pages or material. So there's these birds. They did a shoot in India, and I just love the back page of it. So I'm going to cut out one of the photos and I'm going to Mod Podge. I mean, and look how beautifully it goes with everything there. Plus, it's a tree. Is the central idea of this layout, the tree of life, and a bird. I mean, a bird makes its home in it, right? So the whole idea of this tree of life, I love Psalm 1, and that's what inspired this idea of the tree of life, which says, instead you thrill to God's word, you chew on scripture day and night. You're a tree replanted in Eden, bearing fresh fruit every month, never dropping a leaf, always in blossom. Isn't that beautiful? And so that's the reason why I used the tree. It's sort of a symbol for me, also for this year. My word is live. And with that word, the little picture that came with it is just of a tree that I'm cultivating a life that I hope a lot of people would find, shade and nourishment and a home. So, mostly for my girls and for my friends and my family. So that's really the picture I want to think of when I think of my life, is that I'm like a tree. And I'm sure, this is not just for me, this is for anyone. So that's a little bit of the inside information of the tree. And now I'm just, you can see I used Mod Podge to add the little flower. And now the page is really coming together. I'm really starting to love it. And I can just imagine if you add the journaling, on the white parts, how beautiful this page will look once it's really finished with journaling and everything. I use some Tim Holtz rub-ons, and I'm just going to add a couple of text. You remember I started off with stamping, that beautiful stamp by Seven Gypsies. I love text, and I think I just wanted to bring it back as well. So that's the reason why I used the Tim Holtz rub-ons. And you can find a link on my blog and the related products. There's links to his rub-ons that you can get. I wish I knew how to create rub-ons at home. I mean, I wish there was a sheet you can put through your printer. Or maybe there is. And if you know about something like that, please leave me a comment in the comment section. I would love to know that. One thing that I know for sure is that I don't know anything or a lot of things. So, imagine that there's something available like that you can put something through a printer and you can rub it on. How amazing would that be? Maybe we should design something like that and become millionaires. Anyway, so yeah, I'm talking a lot. It's hard to narrate art journaling pages, people, because it's such an intuitive process and it's hard to explain in words, what your intentions is, or or not, because you don't always have intentions. It's something that really just goes with the flow. So it's much harder for me to narrate this than scrapbook layouts, because a scrapbook layout is way more intentional. So please just be with me. I think I'll get better with narrating what I'm doing the more I do it. So yeah, thank you again for your patience. So you can see that this page is almost done. I'm just going to bring back a little bit of the tree. With a pen. It's a pigment pen. And then I'm just going to go around the tree of life words with white ink, and I'm just going to add a little bit of detail. I'm going to add back, and then the page is done. So I'm just going to play you music until the end. Thank you very much for watching another art journal attempt, and I thank you for your kind words on the YouTube channel and on my blog. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next Monday with the final art journal page for this month, and then I'm working on new ones again. Bye bye.